A deadly day in our nation's capital. You're looking live at pictures from Washington, the scene of a mass shooting at the D.C. Naval Yard.
Here's what we know so far. At least 13 people are dead. 3 surviving victims are expected to recover, and authorities are now searching right now for one possible shooter still on the loose. Another gunman is dead.
Authorities say that they have used fingerprints to identify him as Aaron Alexis. The 34-year-old last lived in Fort Worth, Texas, but his roommate says he hasn't seen him in months. The FBI is asking anyone with information about Alexis to call them at 800-CALL-FBI.
Scripps National correspondent Mark Greenblatt is in Washington, D.C. right now, and he joins us live with the very latest.
Well, good evening. The shooting rampage began at about 8:15 this morning, not far from where I'm standing right now, just a few blocks back that way at the Washington Navy Yard. And authorities are now identifying that 34-year-old military contractor and former Navy veteran as the shooter.
Chaos rained down on the nation's capital, turning the Washington Navy Yard, a place that normally builds ships and submarines, into the scene of America's latest mass shooting.
But it was like pop, pop, pop. 3 seconds it stopped and pop, 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 pop.
Patricia Ward went to the cafeteria to buy breakfast and ended up running for her life.
We got out the door, the side of the door, security was out there. She had a gun drawn. She told us to run as far as we could.
The longer the morning drew on, the higher the victim toll grew. First 2, then 7 fatalities. And by 2 o'clock, stunned officials had to raise the count again.
Right now, we're confirming at least 12 fatalities.
One of the dead, a shooter. But police said 2 more potential suspects remained unaccounted for, both of whom were armed and wearing military-style uniforms, which is why U.S. Marines searched the trunks of anyone trying to park in a nearby garage, turning a normally quiet neighborhood into a scene of tension and worry. Nervous husbands and wives waited for word from loved ones. Tech Sergeant David Reyes drove here all the way from Andrews Air Force Base after his wife texted to say she was stuck in a neighboring building on lockdown.
We lost contact for about an hour, so that's when I decided to come over here.
And late today, that death toll rose once again, now standing at 13 with scores more injured. Still, lots of questions remain unanswered tonight as police continue to search for at least one other potential suspect. They have cleared one of those 2 men that they were looking for. Live in Washington, I'm Mark Greenblatt. Russ, Karen, back to you.
I'm Mark, thanks. Well, new at 6, we've learned that Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin is in Washington right now giving a speech. We've yet to hear from her on today's tragedy, but we'll continue to follow this developing story. Watch for an update tonight on 2 News at 10 and get the latest updates anytime on KJRH.com.